Welcome to the free audiobook version of The Everyday Pain Guide, your go-to guide when pain first strikes. Hi, I'm Dr. Ya-Ling Liu, and the podcast is taking a little detour to make my new book available in an audio-friendly version for everyone out there. Each episode will feature a bite-sized snippet from the book, and together we'll work our way through as much of it as is possible in this format. What's exciting about this is that I'm reading parts of the book to you before it's even available on the shelves. Plus, unlike with a traditional audiobook, you can engage with the content and chat with me about what you hear. You get to ask questions and tell me what you think as each episode rolls out. So sit back and relax as I bring you today's installment of the second book in the Everyday Pain Guide series, Fix the Fire Damage. Hi, everyone. In the last episode, I asked you to imagine your body like a Rube Goldberg machine, complete with springs, ramps, and redirects. And when things that I like to call garbage enter through your mouth, nose, or skin, they undergo something like a Rube Goldberg cartoon-style journey through your body. I've divided the garbage into 3 different types. Number 1 is food and liquids. Number 2 is air. Number 3 is soaps and lotions. And each type navigates a distinct journey designed to extract things of value to sustain life and discard things of lesser value, or even isolate and protect us from potentially harmful elements inside of that garbage. This process of sorting garbage into piles that we could label keep or toss is done in part with the help of body structures and substances that I call garbage influencers. Today, we're looking at the food and liquids journey by starting with 6 of the garbage influencers that determine what happens with that food and liquids garbage as it enters our body machine. So let's now continue with the Body Chemistry Repair Guide, Part 1. A quick reminder that the information, techniques, and suggestions discussed here are not intended as a substitute for your own individual medical care. Please consult a healthcare provider before implementing any advice referenced. Garbage influencers of the food and liquid journey. Number 1, teeth. Chewing. Using your teeth to chew is an underrated part of the digestion process. It's a purely mechanical action, but without it, chemical breakdown of that food later in the journey is not as efficient or complete. So if your parents or grandparents ever told you to chew your food, they were right, and we should all listen. Underchewed food particles risk remaining undigested, and that can put an extra load on your system downstream. Number 2, saliva. Enzymes. The first chemical garbage influencer in this journey is provided by your saliva. While you're chewing your food, to make it smaller, you're also bathing it in a saliva enzyme called Amylase, which helps to start the process of breaking down starches. Number 3, stomach. Acid. The stomach is the next stop in the chain of events, situated under your left rib cage, and it's where your food, hopefully, gets washed in an acid bath for an even more thorough breakdown of starches and fibrous foods. If you've ever had heartburn, you know what it's like to have too much acid sneaking up out of your stomach to where it doesn't belong. But when there's not enough acid inside of your stomach, which can happen when we rely on antacids for relief, then some of our food remains undigested. Number 4, pancreas. Enzymes. Once our newly mushy textured food mixture continues past the stomach, it enters the early part of your intestinal tubular network, the small intestines. This next section of the journey is where special juices from the pancreas get tossed into the mix. Pancreatic juices contain specific enzymes that are needed for processing proteins and fats, in addition to continuing the breakdown of starchy foods that your salivary enzymes got started in the mouth. Number 5, gallbladder, bile. As the food continues on its journey through the tubular intestine network, it triggers the release of more juices. This time, a green liquid called bile is squeezed out by the gallbladder, a little pouch that hangs out near the liver under your right rib cage. Bile is amazing in its ability to break down fatty foods. If you've hit middle age and started suffering from gas, bloating, and pain after eating deep-fried things, then you know what happens when your gallbladder is tired and can't keep up. Luckily, there are foods that can encourage bile production and secretion, which we'll touch on in the body chemistry action plan. Number 6, gastrointestinal tubes. Transportation. Here's another garbage influencer, but one that doesn't get recognized as an influencer as much as it does for being a mode of transportation, moving food from entry to exit. Transporting our food is achieved by an automatic rhythmic squeezing motion created by our intestinal musculature. And this is how food mechanically gets pushed through the approximately 15 feet of tubes to its final exit point. The medical term for this motion is peristalsis. This movement is automatic because it is controlled by a network of muscles operated by your nervous system. You don't have to lift a finger to make it happen, but there are things we sometimes do unintentionally that can get in the way. When there's an increase or decrease in the speed of solid waste elimination, either diarrhea or constipation, respectively, the first thought is usually about what we ingested. But it's equally important to reflect on the state of our nervous system. You'll get to explore both in the next chapter's action plan. In addition to acting as a mode of transportation, the walls of our gastrointestinal tubular network play a major role in influencing our tolerance and sensitivities to the items passing through. This will also be addressed in more detail in part 2 of this body chemistry repair guide. That completes the list of the 6 garbage influencers of the food and liquids garbage journey from the chapter entitled Body Chemistry Repair Guide, Part 1, from Volume 2 of the Everyday Pain Guide series, Fix the Fire Damage. Remember to check the links in the show notes for how to get your free year-long subscription to my Substack publication, Better Pain Coping. That's where you can share your reactions to or questions about this and any other episode. See you over there. Next time, we'll take a look at the 3 main garbage influencers of the air journey through your body machine. Until then. This episode was an excerpt from The Everyday Pain Guide, your go-to guide when pain first strikes. Written and narrated by me, Dr. Ya-Ling Liu, with audio editing and production provided by Organized Sound Productions. Do you have questions or comments about today's episode? You can shoot me an email anytime at hello@stopeverydaypain.com. That's HELLO@stopeverydaypain.com. If you have friends or family members who you know are struggling with persistent, recurring aches and pains, tell them to check out the podcast while they're waiting for the book. To help me get this information to as many people who need it as possible, please consider leaving an honest review, but I'd also be super grateful for a simple like, follow, or share. Thank you for helping me put a stop to everyday pain.